Good morning, Capricorn. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Capricorn, we're going to get started off with you for the theme of 2025 for you. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and Venus. Cross watcher, if that is you, welcome as well, and discern the messages accordingly. A quick thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, and commented. Those who have booked personal reads, thank you so very much. I did notice this morning, if you did send me an email, apparently I don't know if I missed something or they got marked as read or something like that, but I went back through and I'm filtering through those. So if you haven't heard from me, don't be afraid to send me another follow-up, okay? So I don't know what happened, but it's Mercury in retrograde. There we go, right? It is a thing. So, all right, Capricorn, we're just going to get the overall theme of what you should be aware of, what you could expect in 2025. I don't want to get too broad of a spectrum in that because everything is going to break down to much smaller things. So, of course, as always, we'll do the monthlies and whatnot moving forward, but just kind of give you a heads up on what to expect, okay? So, we're going to start with that. Get an overall card spirit for Capricorn for 2025. Now, 2025 is going to be a year of 8, right? Or 9. Or am I 20? No, it's a year of 9, so it's closure. It's endings. So, yeah. I don't know why I got confused. I've been going 8s. I don't know why 8s are important, but could be, right? Year of 9, so some completions. Retrograde, starting the year off with Mars retrograde. Capricorn, the sun. I think 2025, the way this is panning out already, 15, right? There you are, times 2. Capricorn, 10th sign in the zodiac, 15 being the devil card in the tarot. This is also retrograde review card as well. 2025 could be a lot about taking stock, Spirit is saying, of all of the things that have kind of come and gone in the past few years. A lot of yellows, so this having to do with your solar plexus chakra, diving into your confidence, your willpower. I do feel like for some of you, there has been a hesitancy to really make some big transitions. And I think 2025 is going to highlight those transitions for you, the way that this is coming through. As I say that, heal. So Chiron, the wounded warrior, is back there behind that, and then Gemini cross-pollinate. So, you know, for those of you who maybe didn't have a voice or have kind of, Spirit's calling it subsurfaced, your voice. This is a year in which those things are going to start to be rectified if you're willing to stand into that energy. I also feel like with these sharp points, you think about like the blade of a knife of all things. Like that's how it's coming through. They're pointed. So, you know, there could be a period here, Capricorn, potentially around springtime where your defenses are really up. It's like giving me porcupine feel. Like they put their quills up to protect themselves. So you may feel at some point like you could be like being attacked on different fronts, maybe feeling like people have turned their back to you, where you used to get the help, you're not getting it there anymore, and vice versa. The wheel is spinning here, Capricorn, in 2025. It is time to make some very large changes for yourself. Because if you're finding yourself in 25 as in a space of defensiveness all the time, it's not a great place to be. It's not somewhere you want to be. It's like Spirit also saying connecting the dots. When you look at a particular situation and then how does it connect to the next thing? What is the connecting factor to a mirage of beliefs, Spirit is specifically saying, that you've dealt with throughout the course of the last few years, or maybe even for your entire life, right? You're going to know better than I do. But this is about picking a new direction. This is about change. This is about optimism of the future, that it can be much brighter than it has been. If you've been struggling financially, this is where the adjustments have to be made so that those changes can happen for you on a material front as well. So let's see what else is coming out here. So Capricorn for 2025, Spirit, what else do they need to know? What do they need to, what can they look forward to in this for 2025 for Capricorn? Yeah, oath. Here you go. Like it's going to, Capricorn 25 is going to be a period of like conundrums. And I hate to go it's a bad year, because it's not a bad year. It's always going to be your perspective of how you choose to handle things, what you choose to do with it. But again, talking about letting go, like the theme of 25, if I had to label it for you, is letting go. Because there are promises, I think, that you've made to yourself during the course of time. And it's kind of like you kind of dangle out in the middle of it all and going, well, let's just see what happens. Some would call it blind faith, right? And it's like trying to, some of you could be in this very optimistic, like find the beauty in everything. But as you're going to see, as time goes on, the things that you have sold yourself short for the sake of maintaining somebody else's happiness, maintaining somebody else's feelings, that's no longer going to be an option. It can't be, because it's like Spirit is going to bring in this pain associated with these situations that makes you so uncomfortable that you're going to have to make some certain moves. I think by summertime, depending on where you are, so we'll say June, July, so where I'm at, that's when this breakthrough may occur for you. But I feel like the first half of the year is going to be a whole lot of you navigating these challenges based upon the fact that you're beginning to get very uncomfortable. Things may not look as Spirit, as stellar as you would want them to, but understand this is an adjustment period for you. Excuse me. Hiccups. I talked about that 8. 8 is laying on the bottom. So this is what goes around, comes around, is always kind of what I have to say about that. However, I talked about the 8. That's on the bottom. 9 is on the bottom of the other deck as well. So both those numbers that I specifically mentioned. By 8 months into a particular situation here, you're going to, Spirit saying, calling it quits on certain things that I think you were pushing forward to make them happen. You're going to have to kind of be in that energy of what Scorpio represents with Pluto and Aquarius, their rebirth, right? Like sometimes, Scorpios will go in and they just mass destruct everything. They bring down the house. And with that, sometimes you have to mass destruct so that you can rebuild. And I do get this feeling, understand that when it's said and done, happiness is what lays on the other side. Personal freedom and happiness is what lays on the other side of this time frame for you, okay? So in this retrograde review, what is it that Capricorn is really moving forward? Wounded warrior again, right? That's the wounded warrior. You have, you can put up the good fight all you want to put up the good fight, but some things just aren't worth fighting for, Spirit is saying. And it's like, if it's holding you back from moving forward, is it worth holding on to? Like, what is it that you're actually gaining by hanging out in a space that you thought required you? It's like, well, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be doing these things. All these other things 8 years ago lined up and brought me to this. So I'm supposed to be destined to this forever. Do not be afraid to make changes. And I do feel like that's a large part of this is, being willing and understanding to make the changes. 9 of Swords. The stress, the worry of where am I going with this 2 of Wands. 5 of Swords is that self-sabotaging behavior. So I kind of feel like this reading ultimately, I was honestly surprised, Capricorn, that you guys came out from the start for the review of to do an overall for 2025. But I can see why. Like, we're getting ready to move into your lunar season. And it's like Spirit's asking you to stop self-sabotaging your future direction. Again, if it's meant for you forever, you will know without a doubt. It's reviewing it where you are now. Like, say, as an instance, when we meet that new person and everything is great, we're in the honeymoon phase, we're like, everything lined up divinely, it was perfect timing, we have the same interests, we have all of these human things that we are able to equate to that person and go, this is meant to be, right? But a reason and a season, is it meant to be forever? Is that job meant to be forever? Is that person meant to be forever? 5s change. Look, it's what fills you. You're learning about what throws your emotions off balance. And I will say, Spirit saying, from September of this year until September of next year, that could very well be the theme for you. What has thrown your emotions off? You're starting to pay more attention, being more present, being more aware when it comes to the people surrounding you, that goes, when I leave this situation, how do I feel about it? Did it light me up? Did it inspire me? What am I learning during the course of this? And in parts of your life, Capricorn, you are the teacher. In other parts of your life, purposeful direction, you are becoming a student again. And that's okay, right? Like we have to dig deep into those crevices that we didn't really want to look at or never imagined it would be any other way. But some of you could be looking into moving. Some of you could be looking into positions that allow you to travel. And it's like, but this is not the way that I wanted things to be. Capricorn, you've got to get out of your own way, because even if it's not the way that you wanted it to be, it's going to be very beneficial to you in the long run, okay? Four of Pentacles, Page of Swords. Again, the Eight of Pentacles, the Tower. I'm hearing it's the end of the world as we know it. Don't get caught or wrapped up in fear, okay? But when we talk about that phrase, that catchphrase, it's the end of the world as we know it. Capricorn, you're being shifted and guided out of a position. You could feel like there are people that are, Spirit's calling it, stacked against you. This tower is going, you've got to blow it up. Like I said, it's that energy of destruction, if I could talk. The energy of destruction so that you can rebuild. There it is in the very heart of your spread when it's said and done. The sun is illuminating these things that are no longer working for you. People, places, things, it does not matter what it is. It does not work. This is not where you're supposed to be. This is not where you're supposed to stand. You shouldn't have to be in defensive mode. You shouldn't have to feel like you constantly need to protect yourself. If you're constantly trying to save money, not argue with people, trying to make amends where people are being hostile or some kind of way, all of these things, why are you engaged in that? What good is that doing you? It's becoming self-saboteur, right, at the end of the day. Self-saboteur. The Seven of Cups is like, then what am I hearing? What else am I supposed to do? I'm going to flip it back to you, Capricorn. What are you supposed to do? It's all about the energy and Spirit saying the focus of what it is that that is around you at that time. You're going to have to discern these situations as they come up for you, because it's like in those processes, again, I talked about that smaller, right, as we talk about the big overall picture of 2025, when you start to look at the things on a smaller level, you can only take one day at a time. You can only deal with one problem at a time. If you look at the big picture, you're going to stress yourself out to no end. So I feel like this is kind of like Spirit's like, heads up, Capricorn. When we go into this new year with a review, and even now being in a review process with Mercury in retrograde, which will end on the 15th, Mars staying in retrograde till the 23rd of February, make sure you're doing your review now. 13:13 on the clock. Do that review period so you start to get like the foundation of what life is going to look like and what transitions need to be made ahead of time rather than waiting till last minute. Like, you can't buy that time back, also, is what Spirit is saying. So be aware of that. Capricorn, overall energy, the gap. There's like a missing piece to this, and I don't know the prayer. Spirit, listen, there may be a certain ingredient, we'll call it, okay, missing from within. That to me feels like that solar plexus chakra. We've talked about it, we've addressed it on an emotional level, right? But where is the power and the confidence to continue forward with that? Everything and everybody may suck to you. They may suck you dry. Your energy may be depleted. And it's like being in this merciful place going, God, give me mercy. Give me a reprieve. Who and what are you letting affect your energy? People, situations only have the authoritative power that you allow them to have over you. So you have to decide on what that looks like in 2025 for yourself. The missing ingredient here is that personal power. that freedom, the sun, Leo energy, strength, perseverance. I think that there are times, Capricorn, where all of those things within you, they exist. They live within you no matter what. It's always a matter if you're going to tap into it. There's a fear of breaking away from what you've known to breaking into the unknown. And with Pluto and Aquarius, I sound like a damn broken record. But that is a large part of this, is needing to just trust in the divine, that, you know, your prayers are going to be answered. But in order for that to happen, places, people, and things are not, certain ones are not going to be a part of what that looks like for you. You see, finding that fire in your belly, the Tibetan fire serpent, and then behind that is negative attachments, energy attachments. 13, again, a lot of endings for you, Capricorn, that I don't think you see coming. Maybe you've had a gut feeling that, like, oh, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Or I don't know how to do this anymore. There's a reason, okay? Divine creation, acceptance, personal commitments, euphoria. This is putting yourself first. When you become a divine creator or co-conspirator to your life, you're co-creating with the universe. They need you to get amped up. They need you to be inspired by change rather than fearing change. It should not take, Spirit, it should not take an act of God, whatever you believe in, to get you there. They're asking for you to give personal awareness to this situation or these situations, because I do feel like that this is, there are many things here that are going to need to be addressed throughout the course of 2025, okay? Let go of your worries, let go of your fears. And also, you know, I'm going to say this too, Capricorn. If there's something that you have worked on and it's not working out, that doesn't mean failure, is what Spirit is addressing. It does not mean that you failed at all. You know, there's that whole adage of a fail, first attempt in learning. It was a success simply because you tried. It was a success because it went past an idea and led into some form of creation. It was success because you got to live it for a while. 1717, they're trying to move you to wish fulfillment. They're trying to move you through this healing. There's a lot of healing that's going to take place on an emotional level. But you also have to trust in your ability. You have to believe in your ability for these things to manifest accordingly. I could say playing small with yourself, but I don't think that that's necessarily the right terminology for that. This is you believing that you're not worth fighting for. That everybody else's feelings, emotions come before yours. 25 is not going to allow for that to happen. And if you do, forewarning, if you do, you're going to backslide on all the progress that you've made probably in the last 5 to 15 years. Capricorn, we're in a completely different era for you, right? We came out of Pluto with you in November. Now we're into Pluto with Aquarius. Spirit, fortune favors the bold. Fortune not just being your money and your resources, but your time, your energy, and your investment of everything that you give. Big changes next year. Big changes. And Spirit saying you feel it coming. You know it's coming. I think a lot of you are kind of in this sense of denial. Just because it's like when we start to feel it, right? We don't know what that looks like. Look at this. Sabotage and rebuild. You have the control to make the implemental moves that need to happen. And if you're going to persistently work on something, right? It's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and always getting the same result, right? There are some things, it's like the broken plate. You throw that plate down, it's shattered in a million pieces. Can you glue it back together? Sure. Will it ever have that same structure? No. And I think Spirit is asking you to build new structures because you are going to have to be patient with yourself through this. And that everything takes time. I feel like there's a bit of like an usher of urgency that comes in feeling this way, feeling like everything is out of control. But it's not out of control. you have to decide what you want and go for it. Okay? And it's going to take time. It's going to take time to heal. It's going to take time to build. As I say that, healing heart. You take that path forward. It's going to end toxicity and addictions. It's going to end the heartbreak that you've dealt with. It's going to end anything abusive or stagnant or hurting. And you will learn to love again, whatever that means for you. I have seen the 13. I can't tell you how many times Scorpio transmutation energy, indicative of Pluto to me for you. And look at this. Coffin, new beginnings, liberation, reborn in transitions and tragic endings. This is coming. And you will do the next best thing for yourself. You will get back out there. You will have these new opportunities that pop up for you. But it cannot be attached to some of the things, places, and people that it has been attached to. This is a complete redo of life. Total change, Capricorn, total change. So I'm going to leave it at that. As the months and the weeks go by, we'll dig deeper in on a more intricate level. There's your theme. Your whole world needs to change. Your whole world is about to change. Prepare. Get comfortable with change, right? It's the one consistent thing. Everything's always changing. All right, Capricorn. I hope this video was helpful to you. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are available. Towards the end of the year here, I will be diving into something specific to 2025 on a much bigger scale, and those readings will break down month to month what's going on, and I'll provide that information. If you're interested, that information is available in the description box below on how to reach out to me. Personal reads are currently open. Channel memberships are open as well. I'm sending you all so much love and light. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.